Hey, I'm Stian from Limitless Dojo.com, where we show entrepreneurs how to beat the odds without sacrificing everything in the process. Yes, after that little pun, let's jump straight into today's video, which is actually titled Breaking Bad with Business. Now, I think it's quite fitting because I'm in Mexico at the moment, and if you can hear all the background noises, I'm sorry for that, but it is what it is. It's what I have to work with, and I'm sitting outside, so I'm enjoying it. So the title of this one, like I said, is Breaking Bad with Business. Now, currently, I think the production company or the whole team in Breaking Bad, they are celebrating 10 years. A decade ago, Breaking Bad started. Now, I don't know if you've watched it. I actually finished watching it like 2 days ago. Second time I've watched it. And it's a pretty cool and interesting story. Now, if you're not familiar with it, I'm going to give you a little bit of a synopsis just so you can understand. You have this guy, Walt, who is a teacher. He's a chemistry teacher. And you can see he's pretty much bored with his life. He absolutely hates his life. It's like really monotonous. And then he finds out that he has cancer, stage 3 cancer. And in his mind, he's going to die. And this is the end. So what he wants to do is he kind of wants to provide for his family. Now, he has this brother-in-law who's called Hank, and he's a DEA agent. And Hank takes him on like a drive-along. You know, these drive-alongs with what they're going to do, and he shows them how they kind of bust drug dealers and how they bust like meth addicts and these kind of guys. Cheers with my coffee. So, in any case, he takes him on this ride along, and as they bust this one group of guys, he actually sees someone that was one of his students at school. Now, long story short, they go on this crazy ride. They start cooking methamphetamine, which is a drug, and he's obviously a chemist, so he's able to cook a much better grade of drug than the normal guy on the street. The normal guys on the street, they cook a 60, 65% kind of thing, and he gets to like 99%. He also does a blue thing where everyone else's is white, so it's something unique. Now, long story short is, as he gets more power, as things started progressing, as he starts getting away with the one thing, the next thing comes in, and you know, as you can think, everything goes to shit at the end of the day. Now, what does this have to do with business? It's pretty much exactly the same. You know, we love in business, we love talking about the good things. We love talking about, you know, doing things for our family. And yes, when we start out, yes, we do these things for our family, and the intentions are probably always there to have the freedom, to have the fulfillment, to build the thing for our families. Being there myself, had the same kind of vision. But there's somewhere along the path, what starts happening is we start sacrificing too much. Okay, so we start sacrificing too much time at work, focusing on our business, because the mentality of society, of the whole title of entrepreneurship, is that you have to work 16, 80-hour days, hustle your face off, and all those things sounds cool, make a cool bumper sticker, but at the end of the day, what are you going to lose in the process? Now, if I had to take Walt's example, is he started off by wanting to earn money for his family. But then when he got away with a lot of stuff and people started liking him and liking this, let me grab my hat here and I'll explain to you what I mean. And he had this persona called Heisenberg. Now, this is my little Heisenberg hat. And when he put this hat on, it was like he was this really, really unique, cool, badass kind of guy. And with entrepreneurship, I think it's the same kind of thing where as soon as people, you know, or the business starts going really, really well, and people start appreciating us, and we get the authority, we get the credibility, we get those things that we're looking for, then there's a shift sometimes that goes towards too much power, okay? And I use the word power loosely because it's all about the sacrifices, okay? We put in all this work, which is great. We have the intentions for our family, the same as Walt. He had the intentions to help his family earn some money before he goes away and he dies. But then when he got away with the stuff and he got too much power, he started liking it. And the risk became all bigger and bigger. And then eventually he did everything for himself. So once again, long story short, what ended up, at the end of the day, he lost everything and he died. Okay, he lost his family, everything that he built something for, or the people he built something for, he ended up losing. Now, having gone through this process myself, okay, The thing that we love talking about in entrepreneurship is the good stuff. We talk about the dream, we talk about the freedom, the fulfillment. But we are afraid to talk about the fears and the frustrations and the sacrifices. And you're about to hear one of these people sell something here, which is quite crazy. You hear that? That's like bread. They're selling bread. So it's funny. Um, so we love talking about the good things, but we're not willing to talk about bad things. Okay? And breaking bad with business is just that. It starts off great and it starts off with a dream, and there's no specific time frame to this. This could be 1 month, this could be 10 years. But eventually we're willing to sacrifice so much as entrepreneurs. We take all these risks. We're willing to put in all this extra time to work, but at what consequence? Okay, what are the consequences? What are we willing to sacrifice? The thing is we can end up losing family. We can end up getting divorced. We can end up getting addicted. People don't want to talk about these things, but we get addicted to drugs, we get addicted to alcohol because we're trying to numb the pain. We're trying to take that stress factor away. We're trying to feel better in everyday life because on that inside, we're struggling with the self-worth. We're struggling with the fear, the frustrations of not getting where we want to. And we always see these entrepreneurs, and we see the other business guys, celebrities, talking about how great things are and how great they're doing. But no one ever talks about the struggle. No one ever talks about the sacrifices. And the thing is if you're not careful, the odds, like I like talking about the odds, okay? Like with Limitless Dojo, that's what it's all about. It's about beating the odds. Because the odds are stacked against us from the start as entrepreneurs, yes. And sometimes the odds shift in our favor because we work hard, we learn new stuff about business, which is great, okay? But what we don't understand is let me just let this car pass. Okay, so as things stack in our favor, we start focusing just on the business, okay? But we have a life aspect as well. And when I talk about life, I talk about mind, I talk about body, I talk about family, those kind of things, okay? The things outside your business. Is when you focus too much on business, the scale starts tipping towards that. So we have business too much and life goes out of sync. And when your health goes to crap, your mindset goes to crap, your life in general goes to crap, then eventually you're like stacking the odds against you because yes, your business might be doing better, but you're going to lose everything else in the process. And when you start losing everything else in the process, guess what's going to happen eventually? You're going to lose your business as well. That's exactly what happened to me. I was working so hard, working so much on my gym when I had a gym back in the day, and then eventually I went through a divorce. And after the divorce, I went through a mental breakdown. And after the mental breakdown, I lost my business. After I lost my business, I became depressed. After I became depressed, I became suicidal. So it's like this full circle, and then having to fight back after losing everything is so much more difficult than actually seeing and understanding objectively what is going on at the moment, where you are on the scale of odds, and then actually tipping it back in your favor because it's about the stability. If you do too much on business, okay, it's going to tip this way. You're going to lose this side. If you actually focus too much on lifestyle, you're also going to tip this way and you're actually going to lose your business as well. Believe me, I've been on both sides. Too much freedom is not good. Too much business is also not good. So I wanted to share with you that little analogy, the metaphor with Breaking Bad, because even though the power, and it's awesome to be an entrepreneur, we have to be careful that we don't start doing it and the sacrifices are too much. We end up losing what was the intention in the beginning. So the intention in the beginning is maybe to build something better for yourself and your family, but you end up losing yourself and your family in the process because you're so focused on this business, this dream that you're trying to chase. So that's it for me. Remember to go to limitlessdojo.com if you want to find out more about this process that we use, okay? 3-step process that we take everyone through on the scale of odds. We do free assessment there to see where you are on the scale of odds and kind of point out to you where you're at, because the most difficult thing for an entrepreneur is to be objective, okay? Be objective about our own lives. It's easy for us to look at other people and solve their problems, but it's very difficult for us to solve our own problems. So if you want to head over to limitlessdojo.com, you can go check that out, or just shoot me a message, as easy as that. Hope you enjoyed this one. More videos like this, more metaphors on the way on this page, as well as on my personal profile. So have an awesome day. From me, I don't have a cool name like Heisenberg or anything like that, but over and out, have an awesome day. I'm going to enjoy my coffee in Mexico. So that's it. Cheers, bye.